Okay, so welcome everybody to this month's free energy upgrade, and today we're focusing on karma. So my take on karma. Oh, you guys want to mute? Let's mute everybody. Let's just do that before I mute all. Okay, there we go. So yeah, my take on karma is that as multidimensional beings, we incarnate with a purpose and certain explorations in consciousness, and we play them out in 3D. So we're going to play them out with other people who are going to come in, and we're going to play out the relationship drama and the empowerment drama and all of these things to learn things. But the density of 3D and perhaps some archonic interference, which prevents us from moving through consciousness quickly, which just makes it more dense, makes that in a lifetime, we don't necessarily complete the exploration. So it needs to continue into the next life. But then if you think that we didn't finish it in one life, and then we bring it into the next life, and then we've added more and more and more, we're carrying around a lot of unfinished business. So for me, when I'm looking at that unfinished business, what I'm seeing is the lessons haven't been completed. So we haven't gotten the juice of it. We haven't gotten the growth and the learning from it yet. There's some unfinished emotional content because we're still perhaps in the dramas of it. So there might be some anger and some lack of forgiveness and all sorts of emotional content, which is in our system, which hasn't come to conclusion yet. And then we have these karmic ties with people, which can be, they're not clean because there's this unfinished business, right? When I'm working with clients, when I started working with clients, it surprised me how much karma we can have with people. I mean, the obvious ones are our families, like parents, grandparents, our children, our lovers, our friends, maybe our clients or our bosses. But also we can have karma with people just, sort of inconsequential relationships, and it turns into a clang out of nowhere. And then if you test, it's like, oh, there's karma with that person. And that's why this person, it should have just been a neutral kind of little exchange, and it's so contentious or so sticky. We can also have karma with groups. So imagine if you burnt the witches. If you were like a king and or a religious leader and you were burning the witches, you might have karma with spiritual women. So if in this lifetime you've incarnated and you're a spiritual woman and you're wanting to do work, you might find that they don't welcome you into their community, for example. And you're not understanding why. Here you are offering good work and you're just not getting welcomed in. So we can have karma with groups, we can have karma with religions or spiritual groups, we can have karma with countries. When I moved to Portugal, I decided to move to Portugal without ever having stepped foot here. So I had some karma to clear and to complete with Portugal. And it's been a rough ride, I'll tell you. I mean, wonderful, but like being put through a washing machine, playing out this karma. So the thing is that when we have to play out the karma in 3D, it's like anything. Instead of working on it energetically, you're going through all these kind of dramas and stuff. And if you're dragging around a lot of stuff from past lives, that's a lot of stuff that actually is taking up space in your matrix. So these kind of distorted relationships, the old content, it's taking up a lot of space that could be utilized for doing your purpose. So now that we're at this place, we're about to transition into fifth dimensional consciousness or cosmic consciousness, we can start clearing this stuff energetically, and we can integrate those karmic lessons so that we got the juice out of all of that stuff. And so we are stronger and we are clearer and our relationships are clearer. So that's the point of today's work, really. And so in this session, this is true for all of my work, but basically some people will maybe clear all of their karma today. That would be pretty impressive, but it's possible. And some people will clear only what is really relevant to them right now. So we are going to ask your spirit team to regulate what you clear so that you clear what is beneficial for you and as much as is beneficial for you. So this means that this session is actually available to you to use again and again. If, you know, you might clear 50% of your karma and let that integrate and then come back and do it again. And I would suggest using it if you are out in the world and you get into a tangle with somebody, and maybe you ask your higher self or your spirit team, this is a bit odd. Is there some karma with this person? Then you could do this session again and just really focus on that one particular situation. So what we're going to do is we will ask the teams to clear the karma, and just to add that we are also going to clear ancestral karma. Ancestral karma, it came up in the news because there was a British woman who found out that her ancestors had profited from slavery, and she apologized and she paid, I think, 100,000. But she's also requested that King Charles look into his ancestors, and it turns out that one of his ancestors, I think it's like William III, had invested in slave businesses, basically. So that's being explored. But what's interesting, so that's ancestral karma, and we have ancestral karma as well. So that was just a, an example. So we're going to clear the archonic veils, which, as you guys know, are these kind of ceilings that have been placed on humanity to keep us from evolving, energetic ceilings. So we're going to clear those, and then we're going to go into a slightly different process than we do usually, which is going to involve a little bit of your presence. But if you do fall asleep, it's totally fine, because your spirit team will do it for you. Your higher self will do it for you. But if you are kind of semi-conscious during the process, you might get a sense of some particular people that you might have karma with, or get a sense around the energies that are involved. All right, so if you guys want to get comfy, get into a comfortable position. Welcome everybody to the new people who've just arrived. Okay, so if you are in a comfy, relaxed position, and you can just close your eyes. Maybe take a few nice, deep, long breaths and connect to your heart. So we're now going to open the cosmic field, opening to magic and miracles, blessings, love, and gratitude, divine and cosmic protection. And we ask for real-world, tangible results from this session, and a reality, matrix, life, identity, and cosmic upgrade as appropriate for you. So I'm calling in my teams, Avraham and the Christics, and we ask to activate the Phoenix and Cosmic Grids and the Stargate to full rotation. We open the Ascension and Activation portals, the Cosmic Womb and Celestial Temple, and we call in the Cosmic Team. We also call in all the healing teams, the light codes and technologies to please assist us to clear our karma and any ancestral karma that we carry that is ready to be released today. And now we're going to call in your spirit teams to assist us and guide us in our work here today. We also call in the divine and cosmic protection teams to prevent any interference, any overloads, or any overly rapid releases or intakes of energy. So full protection is activated. And we set our intention now for the totality of our beings, that the work that we do and receive here today will be 100% beneficial for you. So I'd like you to imagine that you are standing in your very favorite place on earth, somewhere peaceful, out in nature. And we are all standing in a circle together, holding hands. So from your heart, please send out a beam of green heart light to everyone in the circle. And feel all the beams of green heart light coming back to you. All that beautiful heart energy pouring into your heart. And just notice how these beams of green heart light crisscross each other, forming a sacred geometry of light between us. And so I'd like you to follow me as we step into this circular and sacred heart field that we have just created together. So this is where we're going to do our work. So teams, we ask that in this session, we clear all karma that we carry from past lifetimes and from our ancestors, perhaps as victim, perhaps as perpetrator, or anything in between, clearing as much karma as is possible, appropriate, and beneficial for us today. Teams, we ask that in this session, we clear all karma affecting our lives, our relationships, our sense of self, our work and purpose, our money, our health, our home, our emotional well-being, and all other aspects of our life. Teams, we ask that in this session, we clear all karma that we carry with all beings, groups or organizations, and countries, including karma with our parents, our grandparents, our siblings, all family members, our ancestors, our friends, our lovers, our partners, our children, our employers, our employees, our business partners, our clients, and also any karma we have with groups, businesses, races, genders, religions, spiritual groups, and all nations. Please clear all of this, all the way to source code within the cosmic field. So we're going to begin by clearing the archonic veils, which could prevent us from releasing this karma. So we call in all the teams, light codes, and technologies, and we activate the Stargate. So teams, please dismantle all the archonic veils, which could prevent us from clearing and resolving our karma and our ancestral karma, including all the mechanisms which generate and maintain their existence within our multidimensional matrices. Please dismantle and remove all anchor points held through all levels of our matrix, all the way back to implantation, origin point, and installation. Teams, please do this work going back through all generational lines. And dismantle all dependence, addiction, attachment to, and identification with these archonic veils, where we confuse these limitations for our own comfort zones or habits or personal failings or human frailty or limitation. So please fully clear and dismantle and remove all replication systems or duplicates. Teams, please reverse the Stargate. Now that the archonic veils have been removed, and recode our multidimensional matrices, recoding for freedom from these archonic veils, as we clear right through our multidimensional matrix from the inner earth level to the cosmic levels of our beings and through the triple inner aspects, all the way to source code within the cosmic field. Om Amen, thank you, it's done. And now we ask to clear all interference, any implants, explants, blocks, and anything remaining within your multidimensional matrix, which could prevent you from clearing and releasing your karma. Okay, that's just taking a little while to work itself through. Okay, that seems to be a big one. So we just keep on testing until it's done. Okay. So now I'd like to invite you to go into the holographic matrix. So this is the energetic space of all timelines, all dimensions, all realities, encompassing all time and space. So you might like to visualize it as a grid of light. Now, within this matrix, I'd like you to locate yourself. But I'd like you to locate your multidimensional self, not the you that you know in this lifetime, but all versions of you in all lifetimes. So this is you at a soul level, aware of your many, many incarnations. And if you can't locate yourself, you can always ask your spirit team to drop a pin and just show you where you are. Now, I'd like you to call up all the lives that you have lived where there is some remaining karma or some karma that you are ready to address today. So only call up what you feel you can handle. You don't need to overload yourself. Call up what is relevant for you, the karma that is in the way of your blossoming here in this reality. What's ready to go now? So maybe you were involved in a war or some violence, some politics or some plagues or family dramas. Maybe call up the lives where you were a perpetrator, where you caused some suffering. And just hold it lightly. And you can also call up the karma from your ancestors as well, whatever you're ready to handle now. Maybe the karma where you were a victim, where you were victimized. Maybe you were burnt at the stake or killed for your beliefs. Or maybe you were in a war. Or maybe you were abandoned by your partner or by your parent. But just calling up these different experiences that you've had in different lifetimes. Now, I'd like you to see yourself in a huge bubble of consciousness. And you are at the center of this bubble. And this bubble of consciousness is made up of all of the energy of all of your karma. And I'd like you to notice that within this bubble, there are these threads, these cords of light that tie you to all the people you have karma with. So I'd like you to just notice who are these people? Maybe they're people that you recognize from this lifetime. Or they might be people that you actually intuitively recognize from another lifetime. And as you tune in, just see what you're feeling when these people present themselves. What are you feeling? And in this bubble of consciousness, there are some other cords that are linking you to the energies of what you experienced with these people. And these might be energies of trauma, energies of abandonment, of neglect, of violence, of betrayal. It might be the betrayal of love, or the betrayal of an agreement, a promise. There might be cords linking to the energy of suffering or confusion or suppression or resentment. So just notice all the cords that link you to these energies, the unfinished energetics that link you. So just notice within this bubble of consciousness all the unfinished stories, unresolved relationships, and the unfinished life lessons in this bubble of consciousness. All that content, it's in your matrix. It's been taking up so much space in your matrix, your energetic matrix. So first of all, I'd like you to turn your attention to the cords of light that link you to all the people or the groups involved in your karmic stories, as well as the ancestral karmic stories. And we're going to begin by just thanking them for their contribution to your exploration in consciousness, for what they showed you and what they taught you and how they challenged you. So we just begin the process of letting go by expressing our gratitude to them for their presence and their contribution to your learning as a human soul. And now infuse these cords of light that bind you to these people and these groups. Infuse these cords with the energy of peace, the energy of resolution, the energy of respect, of honoring the relationship, infusing these cords with the energy of appreciation and acknowledgement and trust and completion. Transforming these ties that have bound you to all of these people and groups. And now we're going to ask our teams, your teams and my teams, to cut these karmic cords between you and them, freeing them and freeing you from lifetimes of unresolved explorations together. So this frees you up to reimagine these relationships at a new level without all that baggage. It's a huge liberation. It doesn't mean losing anybody, it just means losing the karmic ties. It's freedom. And now we're going to sit around the campfire of consciousness with these people who've contributed so much to your earth walk and you to theirs. And although we took on many roles, we put on the clothing of lovers abandoned and warriors and enemies fighting each other, we now sit by the fire as beings of light and explorers of consciousness, and we celebrate and we have a feast of liberation together. Celebrating as beings of light who have unplugged from the dramas of incarnation. And now, still in this bubble of karmic consciousness, we turn our attention to all the unresolved energies. So any anger that we've been carrying through these lifetimes, any resentment, any judgment, any hatred, any rage, any disgust, any pain, any regret, any despair, any energy of violence or death or hurt or imprisonment, or the misuse of power or abandonment or lies, deceit, murder, abuse, toxicity, deception, theft, scamming, all these energies named or unnamed. And we're going to take these energies and put them into two great and powerful grids that can cleanse this old consciousness. This is the Phoenix and the cosmic grid. So the Phoenix grid is a crystalline grid within the inner earth that can clear huge toxicities and blocks of old consciousness. So teams, please activate the Phoenix grid deep in the inner earth, this crystalline grid, and place all these old karmic energies, all the ancestral karma, all this old emotional content, anything that is incomplete, unresolved, or unforgiven, place into this Phoenix grid and dissolve and release all of this, clearing the totality of our matrices, of our energetic matrices, all the way from our inner earth level to our cosmic level and through our triple inner aspects, completely releasing all of these energies, letting them just be absorbed by the Phoenix grid. It's quite a deep one. All these energies just releasing, dissolving into these core crystals in the earth. Quite a lot of old stuck energies going. Just feel as your matrix gets lighter, as these energies release and dissolve. Just feel as your energy bodies, every part of you, gets lighter and lighter. Okay, I'm testing, and this is a very deep and long one. Keep on releasing, keep on releasing. Okay, still going. Obviously, there was a lot of content in our matrices, a lot of old stuck energies. And it's still going. Okay, a lot of density. No, still going. Okay. So now we're going to connect to the cosmic grid. And the cosmic grid is a grid of stars, 228 real stars and 228 etheric stars. And the cosmic grid recodes your matrix with cosmic light, infusing all the areas that were holding these low frequency energies, which took up so much space in your matrix, holding all those old stories and emotions, affecting your view of yourself, shaping your view of the world, your sense of trust and safety, and your vision for life, and what and who you can be and what you can do in the world. So rather than holding this old content in your being and your experience, we bring in this cosmic light from the cosmic grid, bringing in the energy of freedom from all of that old content, freedom from that old view of humanity, freedom from that old perception of reality, freeing you from all of the trauma of your past lives and your ancestors, and freeing up your perception of yourself. How does it change your perception of yourself and life when you're not carrying around all that stuff? So just feel that cosmic light recoding you. Reactivating the cosmic self that you are and have always been. Letting go of that old 3D density. So much heaviness releasing. As you recode. And that's going to run for a little while, but we are going to bring in now the energy of forgiveness. Forgiving all the beings that you have been in past lives. Forgiving yourself for anything that you might have done that was out of integrity or not in harmony with the truth of who you are now. Forgiving yourself for being the perpetrator or the victim. Releasing all the grief and sadness and self-judgment and self-criticism and self-punishment and self-sacrifice and self-hatred and all insecurity taken on because you may have behaved badly in past lives. Freed up from all the trauma of these karmic lives, from all the shame we carried, all the pain, all the loss, the regret, the hurt, the lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, lack of self-belief, lack of self-love. Clear all the vows of self-punishment, of celibacy, of poverty, of inability to love yourself. We clear anywhere you have been diminishing yourself for what you were, for what you did, or for what you experienced. Wherever it's impacted on your sense of self and your empowerment because of the past, the old past lives and the old karma and the old stories. We clear all of that and how it's affected who you are now. And we bring in forgiveness for all the beings who hurt you in past lives. We acknowledge that everything you experienced together was just an exploration in consciousness, and we forgive them and we set them free. And now we clear any old Akashic records, contracts, commitments, or agreements to play out old karmic stories in this lifetime in order to resolve them. We choose freedom in this life, in this reality, in this dimension. Now we ask the teams to please bring in all the karmic gifts, including all the gifts of wisdom acquired from all of those experiences, the gifts of experience, perspective, empathy, compassion, love, tenderness, patience, trust, understanding, knowledge, sensitivity, being able to get others' perspectives, the gift of being able to honor yourself as a multidimensional being who, according to the laws of life, went through a range of experiences. Let all of these gifts drop into your multidimensional matrix and anchor into your inner earth level. Let all of these gifts drop into your earth level and your subatomic level. Let all of these gifts drop into your DNA. Let all of these gifts infuse your body, all body parts and all body systems. Let all of these gifts infuse your chakras, your meridians, your nadis, and all of your electricals and energetics. Let all of these gifts recode your mental body, your emotional body, and your behavioral body. Let all of these gifts expand and recode your energy body, your light body, your rainbow light body, and your soul. Let all of these gifts recode your dimensions, your star level, your angelic level, your source level, your galactic and your cosmic levels. Let all of these gifts infuse your 3D life, your body, your health, your beauty, your sexuality, your energy, all your relationships, including your relationship to yourself and to life, your purpose, your work, your abundance, your freedom, and your joy at being alive, your home, your land, your money, your freedom, every aspect of your 3D life is infused with these gifts, the resolution of all these karmic stories, fully integrated. And now let's go into your inner aspects. We recode your identity, your ego, and your personality, bringing in all of these gifts, all of this growth, all of this expansion, all of this knowledge and awareness. Any false identities that you carry that resonate with these old karmic stories, we release them now with thanks, and we send them up to Creator to be repurposed as new forms of life. We recode your inner child, bringing in these gifts to expand and grow your inner child, your inner mother and father, these wise guardians, your inner champion, your inner masculine and feminine, and all your inner archetypes. We reconfigure them to hold this new cosmic being that you are. And we release any old archetypes that were playing out the old karmic stories. And now we call in any lost soul, heart, or cell fragments that got split off during these lifetimes and dimensions, these experiences of trauma and challenge. We bring them back in through divine filter and reintegrate them into the wholeness of your cosmic being. And now we recode your past self, your present self, and your future self with the energy of all of these gifts, this wealth of and richness of lifetimes of experiences resolved, completed. We also recode your conception, your womb time, and your birth, and all timelines arising out of that moment where you came into this dimension. Okay. So just let yourself expand your being. And just step into your cosmic being to encompass all of this cosmic awareness, all this growth, all this evolution from all these lifetimes of learning. Expanding yourself now that you're not carrying all of that old content. And just let yourself really take ownership of the cosmic being that you are. No longer struggling with all this unfinished business and all this heavy baggage, but actually free and empowered by all these gifts of all that learning. And just send love to all of these incarnations of yours and your ancestors' incarnations. Just send love, because through their challenges and their dramas, you have received all of these gifts, all of this growth, all of this expansion, which you really need right now, because we're at this point of awakening for humanity, and we need you to be in full power mode. And now you are. So just feel into how it feels to be in this full power mode. Woof. And just feel how much love you have for yourself now that all that self-judgment that might have been deeply unconscious, but from these past lives, all of that is released. How much self-love you can feel for you and for all that you are and for all that you've lived. And just feel how much more life force, vitality, and energy you now have at your disposal to create the life that you want, the love that you want, the relationships that you want, and to live the purpose that you incarnated for. Okay. So we thank all the teams that assisted us here today. We thank ourselves for showing up and doing the work. We thank all of our incarnations and our ancestors' incarnations for all the work they've done on our behalf to culminate in this one moment where we can really integrate all of these gifts as light workers with very, very important work to do on this planet right now. Just really standing in our power, our purpose, our hearts, our truth. Just going forward in time, seeing ourselves fulfill our purpose with ease and grace and skill and talent and magic and miracles and synchronicity and support, being seen, being honored, being validated, being received. Our work, our offering, our hearts being received by life. And just see yourself stepping through life so much lighter, so much easier, so much more joy in the relationships, so much more ease and grace. Okay, now bring this vision of yourself navigating life with so much ease and grace and living your purpose and making your contribution to life so easily. Bring all of that into your heart and let it spread from your heart into your full body and going out into your full matrix and all aspects of your 3D life. All your inner aspects, your inner child, and all of your inner timelines. Just see the totality of you just infused with this clarity and ease and effortlessness and love and purpose and effectiveness in the world. Just see yourself doing your thing. And just know that all of life is grateful to you for the miracle that you are. Okay, blessings and gratitude. It is done, it is done, it is done. So you can stay in that energy. Or you can come back to your sacred place, your favorite place on the planet. And come back into your body if you like. I will stop the recording now and then we can just have a chat.